We're taking a tour of Rome riding on a Segway. It's a great way to get around. It's so easy, smooth, and very safe. A lot of fun. And our guide is telling us all about the history and the sights as we roll on by.
Colosseum is not the real name of that place. Vespasian, the real proper emperor after Nero, decided to build the Flavian Amphitheater. Flavian is the last name of Vespasian. So the amphitheater of their family, draining the lake and building the Colosseum. So Colosseum was built where the Lake of Nero was. Okay, this information so that you understand why Colosseum and not Flavian Amphitheater, because Colosseum is the nickname we all call it now.
We get a nice view of the Arch of Constantine. This was a triumphal arch dedicated to the emperor who legalized Christianity. And here in front of the Arch of Constantine, there's a nice wide plaza, all cobblestone, plenty of space where we can play around a little bit and do some turns. As you'll notice, the Segway experience here in Rome is a combination of just riding and having some pure fun, and also seeing the sights and then learning about them from our guide Marco, who fills us in on the history.
Slowly keep flowing. In ancient Rome, each inhabitant had available, thanks to aqueducts, 1,000 liters per day. Compare to today, we have, per person, we have less water available. They had no major spring available in town. They invented bringing flushing water in town. All gravity moved. Right, let's move. The Segway is a self-balancing machine, which means that Segway balances, we just ride it. Considering that there'll be no teaching of balancing, but there will be teaching of riding, the balance part is already done. We need to learn how to move it. Considering that there are no buttons or knobs, the handlebar is made of rubber. To get the Segway moving, do exactly what the Pisa Tower does all days. Lean. This is where the Serbian Walls, which are the first ancient set of city walls, would have been. Nothing is left of them here. Circus Maximus, it's a 1,800 feet long, 600 meters long chariot racing arena, the biggest of all. So Ben-Hur, another movie you might want to see, is reenacting the races which took place here. Now this is one of the most recent archaeological excavations. They are cleaning it up after centuries of total abandon. They're cleaning it up, mending what they can mend, and they will soon be reopening it so that we can actually go in and enjoy the little parts which are left. Don't expect to see anything spectacular. These are the brick remains of the underground holding portion. Once abandoned, was turned into the most important quarry. This is where stones, day by day, week by week, month by month, and century by century were removed. Don't laugh, but the best well-preserved portion of Circus Maximus is a medieval fortress, which is that tower there, which has nothing to do with Circus Maximus. It's the Frangipane, a noble family that in the Middle Ages built for themselves a little fortress inside Circus Maximus, just because it was unowned and they were rich. And what is left of the fortress is that little tower. We get back on board? Let's rock! Circus Maximus is not the only chariot racing arena. There were many, but Circus Maximus means Maximus of circuses, the biggest of all circuses. Okay, there were others smaller, but many were here and there, giving a chance to everybody to have their circenses, their games, their entertainment. That right-hand side part is even more incredible. Settimio Severo, one of the late Rome emperors, well, when he got in power, all the hill had been already built. There was no real space for his palace. He added to the hill, which ended there, that other portion, which is not the ruin of a palace, but it's the basement on which his palace once stood. His palace is gone, but it stood on that basement. Circus Maximus was built by the kings. So at the beginning of Rome, made of wood, and it was not as big as it ended up being. And it was slowly enlarged, improved, and used for something like 900 years. And it was where chariot races took place. Remember, I was telling you about fountains. That is the most common fountain you will see in Rome. It's a funny shape, but does the job. We call it nasone, which means big nose. Let's focus on water because it's vital. So one finger because we save energy. And you drink out of here. And perfetto. Now, I have to be honest though, beer tastes better. You should never spend 1 cent on bottled water in Rome. Va bene. So we get back on board and slowly start hooking up on Aventine Hill, which is going to be a spectacular view.
If you were walking around on foot, you might not want to go up this Aventine Hill. It's a bit of an incline and it's about a half a mile, but on the Segway, it's so easy. It's a breeze. You let the machine do the work for you.
Nobody's coming because this is a one-way, so we're on a runway now. We're doing the Italian thing. Santa Sabina, if you've ever heard of Saint Dominic, he used to hang out here. Now, I know it may sound strange, but you've seen through the keyhole, so it's very, very pretty. It's super nice. Now, you don't need to hassle in trying to take the perfect picture through the hole, which you might not get.
This famous keyhole view is a little too far out of the center to walk to, but that's the advantage of having a Segway. It makes it really easy to get around.
I will be more than happy to share a picture via email with you guys. Now, you're peeping through the Maltese Knights headquarters. They are a military religious order, which dates back to the 4th century. It still are today active. Their main core business is running hospital. And they are a military religious order because when they started running hospitals back in Jerusalem in the 4th century, they figured out that not only they needed hospitals, but they also needed army soldiers to protect the hospitals from, bad people. Okay, so heading back from where we came.
There's more of our Segway tour of Rome in part 3. Of course, there's a lot more to see in the actual Segway tour when you're riding through Rome, because that journey takes about 3 hours. We're just showing you some highlights in our short videos.